Hey, welcome back to DieCash Cars. So today we're going to be talking about the latest Boulevard set, numbers 56 through 60, and what I believe to be the best modern day Boulevard set to come out to date. But first I want to go over my own personal Boulevard car collection, just to lay the groundwork as to where this line has come thus far. Starting with this guy right here, the grandfather, the face of Boulevard, at least what I would consider the face of Boulevard, this being one of the forefathers of the Boulevard lineup itself, going back to 2012. This is Junimai's Datsun 510 wagon, all in teal, classic car. This, along with the Porsche GT2, the Ferrari F40, I believe those are some of the most sought after Boulevard cars from the original Boulevard lineup. And I believe it was really Boulevard that really paved the way for car culture to be what it is today, really painting that picture of all the different cultures, all the different scenes when it comes to the automotive world. And the interest in these older Boulevard sets really does reflect within the value of these cars. So this Datsun 510 wagon right now still sells for around $100 to $150 depending on condition. The as aforementioned GT2 that sells right now for around $250, right in between that $200 to $300 range. F40 is around $100, $130. So yeah, these things are really growing in popularity as well as value, and all that gets carried over to these modern day Boulevard sets that we're seeing today. So taking a look at the Boulevard cars in my collection, I had to break out my box, and I'm telling you guys, these things are not easy to find. I mean, this is essentially my collection right here, one box of 10 cars. They're hard to find, and on top of that, I'm not very much a completionist when it comes to sets, so I really only cherry pick the cars that I like. Just helps my wallet, as well as freeing up space on my walls to display cars. So starting off with what I have here on top, I have two of these Nissan Skyline R33 Nismos. So I've talked about this car on the channel before, but this is one of my all-time favorite Nissan Skylines, R33s for sure. I mean, it looks great, the card art looks great, and I personally actually found this one in stores. Again, as hard as Boulevards are to find at Walmart. And as you can see, this is number 2 out of the Boulevard lineup. So this did come out within that first set of Boulevard, which right now that complete set sells for quite a bit. I mean, it's pushing about $100 right now for the complete set of 5. And just to give you guys perspective as far as what cars are in there, obviously you got the Bone Shaker, rightfully so, one of the classic Hot Wheel casts. Made sense to be number 1 in the set. Then you got the Volkswagen T1 panel bus, Camaro, as well as a Silverado 4x4. And then jumping over to set 2. Again, I don't have all the cars out of the set, but I did manage to get the white Koenigsegg Agera R. So the significant with this is that this was the second time this casting was ever released, the first time being in the Need for Speed. So this one was a welcome addition to a lot of collectors. Just to give you guys perspective, some of the cars that were in set 2. You got the Porsche 356 Outlaw, the Nissan Silvia, which we'll touch base on in a second here, the custom Chevy pickup, and the Camaro SS. But set 2 was definitely significant because that was the first time that we ever saw a card variation with this Nissan Silvia S15. So you can see this is the original card here, and then you also got this Formula Drift version of the card, which was not easy to find. I never found it. I actually ended up buying this off of eBay for who knows how much I paid for this, but probably too much by today's standards. But I had to have it because, again, huge JDM fan, and it looks great with this card variation here. And then also in the box, I have the more recently released here in 2022, but the number 41 car, the Acura NSX GT3. So I thought this car looked pretty good with this color combination. You know, it being more of a track-ready NSX, looked good in this kind of modern, daily-driven NSX color scheme, and I really liked it to kind of pair with my Project Cars 2 ad van Acura NSX. So I don't know if you guys know, but this NSX in real life is being discontinued. So again, I'm not saying that that's gonna raise or impact the value of these cars at all, but just kind of a neat tidbit because, again, these casts do represent a generation of NSX that is no longer going to be there. Up next, I got the Nissan Laurel 2000 SGX from the same set as the previous mentioned Acura NSX GT3. I always really liked this car in this color scheme just because it really does remind me of the 2000 GTR supertreasurehunt that came out back in 2018. Next in the box, no need to explain it, why I have this in my collection, but the 2019 Subaru WRX STI. Just an awesome cast. I do like the rally scheme on this. Alright, so the next one here, I got a little story to share with you guys. So this is the 70 Plymouth Superbird, number 33 out of the Boulevard lineup. So once upon a time, I used to work for a company in a little town called Plymouth, Michigan, and my manager at the time, he actually owned a 70 Plymouth Superbird, this exact yellow color with the black top. He would drive it to work every once in a while, and that thing was just gorgeous to see. I mean, that wing in real life is way bigger than you've ever seen in pictures or in a diecast model. I mean, it towers over you essentially. But the cool thing about this car was that my manager always said it was too slow, and he always wanted to swap out the motor for a Dodge Viper V10. I wonder if he ever did that. Might have to reach back out to him, come out of the blue, and see if he ever did that, because that would be awesome to see. And rounding us out, I got the BRE Sunny Truck, and no, I don't have the Datsun logo variation. Both of mine have the black Datsun logo, as you can see. And then also out of this set, I did get the Lykan Hypersport in black. So this is the first time I ever bought this cast. I know it came out in Fast and Furious in red too, and that's definitely my lineup given my Fast and Furious collection, but I never picked it up when it was released. But for some reason in this black color it looks really good, so got two of those, and that is what I have in my Hot Wheels Boulevard collection. And getting into the latest Boulevard set, so my son and I, we were fortunate enough to go out on Black Friday morning, and to my surprise, there weren't a lot of people around. I ran into one local collector, we chit-chat for a little bit, sounded like he'd been all over town too, but he was on his way out of the store. I went into the Walmart, I touched base with one of the stockers, and they had let me know that there was one case in the back. They went back, 5 minutes later they came back out with a full box, 2 full sets of the latest Boulevard set, numbers 56 through 60. So let's jump right into this set, and I will talk about why I believe this is one of the best Boulevard sets to be released up to date, starting with this car right here. So this is the matte black 71 Ford Mustang Mach 1. And if you guys take a look at this autograph right here, it is actually Mr. Joey Logano's own personal Mach 1 Mustang. Go look it up on Google. His car looks just like this. I mean, everything down to the logos, the rims, all the details. I mean, they essentially copied Mr. Logano's car, which is pretty awesome because he is a pretty big time NASCAR driver. I believe he's one of the youngest to win some of the championships within the circuit. And for them to immortalize one of his own personal cars into the Hot Wheels world, I feel like that's a pretty special thing. And going through my collection, guys, I lied. I had one more Boulevard car sitting on my pegs, and this one is Mr. Alex Laughlin's Speed Society Corvette with the removable hood where it exposes the blown engine that it's got there. So again, another popular cast that had come out into the Boulevard lineup, and also another signature car. So a really neat thing that they've done with the Boulevard line is produce these cars that are real cars in real life with a number of icons in the automotive industry. Next up, we got the Ford Escort RS 1800 Mach 2. So I ignorantly mistook this car for this car right here, the 1970 Ford Escort RS 1600. They look very similar, and again, I am big on this car because of its ties to Fast and Furious and Paul Walker. But this is actually the second generation of this car, It's pretty neat. Hot Wheels is actually going to be giving us this full lineage of the Escort RS. So you guys might have seen in the A case for 2023, we're also going to get the Escort RS 2000. So pretty neat. We got 3 generations of this car, but this looks pretty good. It's got those signature quad fog lights up in the front because this is a rally inspired car. I'm also pretty fond of this Tampo scheme as well too. The yellow, the red, the blue Ford logo. I mean, it looks pretty true to form. A welcome addition, and also this is only the second time that we've seen this cast. Skipping over to the De Tomaso Pantera. So this car, I don't have much connection to it, but it looks pretty good. You can tell it's got this rally inspired Italian deal going on with its logos and all of the Tampo work that's on here. Big Goodyear logo in the back. This is a golf car. If you look at the hood there are 2 golf logos there. So anybody who is a golf completionist, you're going to have to add this into your collection. But I can appreciate it for just what it is. It's got that 80s vibe to it. Boxy, wedgy looking little car. So great addition to the collection. And also this is a first edition. And the second most expensive car out of this set, and also another staple to this Boulevard lineup, the Mercedes-Benz AMG E36 Estate Special Edition. So this thing is just gorgeous, guys. Really reminds me of my other favorite Mercedes, the Evo 190E. I mean, these two just look great together. I do have a cousin who has a C63, so a lot newer of a generation of a Mercedes AMG, but man, I mean, when I look at this, I get that VIP Mercedes vibe. I mean, this thing just looks great. Another thing that I'm a sucker for is painted bases, and they did that with this car. Again, just adding to the premiumization of this car. I mean, it looks great. Currently right now, again, I mentioned this is the second most expensive car out of this Boulevard set. Currently selling anywhere around $15 to $20. And last but not least, the focal point of this Boulevard release has to be this Toyota 4Runner. So up to this point, this 4Runner cast essentially lives in the Boulevard lineup. We've seen it before in the white, which was also a hugely popular cast and release, very sought after even to this day. And they're continuing on with that success with this 40th anniversary edition. I mean, this thing just looks great in this galaxy blue. If you guys recognize this color, it's actually the same as the 50th anniversary black gassers that were Kroger exclusives back in 2018. Those things were really nice in color as well too. I still recall when I walked into that Kroger's and I found 5 of those things just laying in a bin. I grabbed them as fast as I could. So yeah, just looking at this car and this color, it just brings back those memories. But let's get this bad boy open and take a better look at this masterpiece. So out of pack, this thing looks even better, guys. I mean, if you look at that paint color combination, that blue along with the bronze rims and the TRD striping on the side there, the red, orange, and the yellow, just classic vintage colors for a Toyota 4Runner. They even got it reflected up there, the TRD badge up in the front grille. It's got that classic alien predator front end. Got the hood scoop there as well too. I mean, man, they really went all the way with this car. So no question why this car is so popular within the modern day Boulevard lineup. I mean, it looks great, and the value of this car reflects that. So currently right now, this is selling on the secondary market for about $20 to $25. And honestly, guys, as nice as it looks, I only see that value going up, similar to the white 4Runner that was released previously. And if you guys have been paying attention to all the leaks on social media right now, such as T-Hunted, you guys will know that we are going to be getting an alternate card of this 40th anniversary Toyota 4Runner, similar to what we saw with the Formula Drift Nissan Silvia S15. Only, again, seen this one time out of the second set of Boulevard. We are now going to be seeing it with this Toyota 4Runner. So again, just adds to the significance of this Boulevard set, which is another huge reason why I believe this is one of the best Boulevard sets. I mean, if we just do a recap here, we have an Icon signature and personal car, we have continued lineage of the Ford Escort, we have a first edition on the De Tomasto, we have a first edition and continued success with the Mercedes-Benz castings, and now we have a 40th anniversary card variation of the Toyota 4Runner, which is already a very sought after cast, guys. I mean, this is an amazing Boulevard set. But that's what I got for you guys today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, what you think about this Boulevard set or any Boulevard set that's come out to this point. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time on DieCash Cars.